Alright, this is a take two. The last time I muted my mic and I forgot to unmute it, and I also realized that the RNG helper was covering up too much of the screen the whole time, and you guys really couldn't see what was going on there. So I'm going to try to move it slightly out of the way. You don't need to see that contents section. You need to see the percentage and the heals and all that stuff. So yeah, that's a little bit better. Now you guys can kind of see what's going on. So basically, let me hide this temporarily. Why I'm doing this is because in my previous stream and all before in this new game minus mode, I am basically not making money nearly as fast, not making gil nearly as fast as I could in the regular game. In the main game, you can equip these cat ear hoods to your characters, and you will be making enough gil to pay for everything very quickly, because the cat ear hoods convert LP to gil at a rate of your character's level times 5 gil. And so if you have 3 characters equipped, say they're all at level 10, you'd be getting 30 times 5, 150 gil for every LP. And then if they're level 20, 30, 40, it multiplies and scales. We're stuck at levels 1, 2, and 3. So with the cat ear hoods, if I have 3 characters out, even if I had it all on my level 3 characters, that's only 45 gil per enemy defeated. Basically, well, I mean, enemies that give 1 LP, which is most of them. Some of the bigger enemies will give more LP. And the problem is that I am going through ethers ridiculously quickly in this mode. In New Game Minus, and I might have mentioned this before, when you in the normal mode for any of my mages, I would have something set up that was basically after all their stuff was done, I'd have self MP less than 10 and then charge, and you'd have this, and this would basically guarantee that, and you wouldn't have this, you wouldn't use any ethers. This would basically, for your black mage, it would try to cast any of this stuff, and then it would keep doing this until their MP was low enough that they basically couldn't cast any of this stuff, and then they would use this gambit would take over and tell them try to get a little bit more MP. And charge has a failure rate which is based on the amount of MP that you have left on your character. And once it gets below 10%, it's a very high percentage of success. And then that's the charge success. If they had been, what I would have liked is for the amount of MP that you actually get back to be based on something like your magic stat, your magic power stat. So, if I have high magic power, I get a lot of MP back for charge. But that's not what it is. What it is your character's level. You will get your character's level back in MP, and randomly you can get up to a 30% boost. So that means, and I'm pretty sure they use a rounding strategy, a rounding down floor. So that means that Vaughn with charge could get 1, Balthier and Frank could get 2, Bosch, Ash, and Pinello can get 3 or 4. And that's just not enough to keep things going. So we have to use ethers. Maybe other people were used to using ethers. I wasn't. So we are burning through them ridiculously quickly. Especially since in New Game Minus mode, none of your magic is also not as strong because it's your levels are low. So you're casting things even more rapidly than you do in the regular mode. So ethers are going so fast, and once you reach a certain level in the clan, you can buy them, but they're 200 gil a piece. So we are burning through gil at a rapid pace, and I was down to just a couple thousand gil. Well, you can see here that we're now up to well over 500,000, And I did that with this method here. So in the Still Shrine, in the Ward of Vegetation room, there's 2 chests, and there's also a floor trap. One of the chests has a chance of having anywhere from 0 to 65,000 gil. That's its range. And that's, from what I can see, the most amount of gil in a chest in the game. And so what we can do is we can use random number manipulation to make sure the chest appears and make sure that when we open it we get gil. And we're not going to concern ourselves with how much gil, because that's going to be another random number, and you just take what you can get, knowing that it can be a relatively high number. So what you do, this room, this ward of vegetation room has enemies, so go in and clear it, and then you can leave through the Walk of Torn Illusion room, or you come out here in the Walk of Revelation room. Doesn't matter, either room is fine. And when you leave this room to enter those rooms, you don't move the random number position at all. When you enter the Ward of Vegetation room, assuming you've already cleared the enemies, you will consume 3 random numbers. 1 for each of the chests to potentially appear, and then 1 for the floor trap. So what we'll do, I'll pull this up to show you, is you check your stats. I'll move this over here. Pick one of your characters that can cast magic, that can cast cure, and you look at their stats. She's level 3 and her magic power is 47. And you want to remove equipment, specifically the weapons and the offhand, because you don't want to use up too many random numbers, and you don't want to actually do any damage when you attack yourself to move the random numbers. Also, with your equipment, make sure that you do not have any equipment that's going to move the random number as you're just sitting there. And that would be something like the Ring of Renewal or the Ribbon, which have regen, which use up random numbers in the background even if you're at full health. So once you're set up like this, level 3, magic power, you're going to enter those here. Level 3, magic power, enter your platform. Now this current application works for PS2 and PS4. There's other applications you can use to get your random number your list, and for the PS3 it's a fixed seed, so this application works really well. It doesn't matter what save you're in at what time, you can stop, enter in a level and a magic, and then cure, and then serenity if you have it on that character. Make sure you fill up your HP before you check this, because you're going to be healing more, and you can just go and get your point on the list. With the Xbox, Switch, Xbox, Switch, or PC, your random number list changes every time you load up a game, and basically you have to determine what your random number seed is for that list before you start entering numbers. This application doesn't let you do it for any of the other systems, and it doesn't let you enter in a manual seed. So use one of those other applications that allow you to do that. But whichever application it is, once you have your seed and you have your list, and you basically say what your character's stats are, you can just start finding where you are in the random number list. So you can heal. So I healed for 356, and then on this one we start. I knew where I was, I could just click continue, but we'll just go through this demonstration again. 349, continue. 337, continue. Alright, and I think that's the right spot. The next one's going to be 346. Okay, and so we'll just show that it's consumed. Now, when you're doing this, you're going to want to make sure that nothing is using the random number. Like, there's some things around that when you're doing this, you may find that you jump around and then eventually it says that it's an impossible value. What could be happening is that your random number is moving along because of something like if you have a ribbon equipped, or if you have a guest party member in the party walking around doing stuff. They can sometimes consume random numbers, and you have to be in a position where they're not around to actually make this work. So now that I know where I am, the chest we're interested in has a 5% spawn rate and a 5% chance of gill, and we're interested in the gill. So what we want to do, because the next room has 3 items in it, we're going to move this random number by 3 when we enter the room. So we're going to consume 350. Oh, okay. I was standing around too long and the enemies came back. So let me get my party set up and take care of those guys first. Alright, so now we're going to leave. We're going to start this again. Take everybody out. Turn your gambits off. Move equipment. This last one here, like I said, don't be something that moves our random number around. I'm using this MP cost reduced by half because while I'm curing, I don't want to have to spend more than I need to. If you know that you have to move large quantities at a time, the Hermes sandals, if you're going to be attacking yourself, will help speed things up. Alright, so let's get our spot in the list again. 359. Three, 4, 2. 370. Okay, and it's probably going to be this 360. All right, so now it says my chest is in position 2. Let me go over that one more time. Is that in this room there's 3 things. There's the 2 chests and there's the trap. The second position, the second random number used, is the chest we're interested in. You figured that out. You know, I figured that out by trial and error. I moved between the rooms, figured out that the random number moved by 3, and then just tried to put it at position 1, 2, and 3 to see if the chest showed up. So I'll attack myself once, consume 10. Attack myself again, consume 10. Now when you're attacking, this application tells you that you're not going to combo, you're not going to go over your target. If you're not using an application like this, if you're just looking at a list and moving down it, the 5th number determines whether you're going to combo. And when you're barehanded, if it's less than 5, you'll combo, and you could skip what you're trying to get. But right now it's not, so we'll consume. Okay. Now, our target here is 4. So actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave. That's going to consume 3. 1, 2, 3. And now a target here's 4. So we're going to move it by 1 because we want that to be the second random number. Right now, if we were to go through, it would be the 3rd random number. So we're going to consume 1 random number. We're going to see it's 344. And now, when we enter the room, the 4 is in the 2nd position and the 2 is in the 3rd position. I don't remember whether the other chest is the 1st or the 3rd, or whether the trap is the 1st or the 3rd. So, but we'll just go. We're only interested in the guild chest right now. So now that I went through, steer clear of the trap in the middle of the room. It's a good trap, but it'll use up random numbers, and we don't want that. Okay. Since this chest is here and this one is not, I think we can safely assume that the 1st position is for that chest which didn't spawn. If you want to use this method to get mega elixirs, you can focus on that chest. But I'm focused on Gil right now, so moving into this room, consume 3. Now I want the Gil, so I'm looking for, again, a number that's less than 5. And the 4 is right there. And because the chest has the same appearance chance as the gill, I can actually look at this number and see how far away I am. So, attack to consume 10. Okay, so now the 4 is here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 10 away. So I can just attack one more time, and that'll consume 10. And now the next number here is a 4. That number, when opening a chest, is used to determine gill, and we want the gill. So we'll open it up. And then the one right after that, the next number determines how much gill you get. So we've just consumed 2. Boom, boom. Okay. And that's pretty much it. So now we can look at the next one. The next one is 31 away, so speed it up here. Walk around our trap, rejuvenation trap, just so we don't consume any RNGs we're not aware of. So we want to move 31. So attack, consume 10. Attack, consume 10. Attack, consume 10. And now there's our 3 right there. But again, the chest we're interested in uses the second position. So I'm going to consume 1. 371 is used up. Continue. The 3's in the second position. We leave. And there's our chest. Moving into the room, consume 3. 1, 2, 3. And now the chest doesn't work at 5. It needs to be less than 5. So, wow, we're actually quite a way away. It says advanced 94. So I gotta... Alright, so I'm going to hit myself 9 times to move this number along. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and let's see. Did I do it right? Hold on. Did I miss one? That was 345. That's down here. So consume. Continue. All right. So I'm right here, and there's looks like our 0 is the target here. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4 more heals. Uh-oh. I messed that up. Let's see what I used there. 368. Okay, that only used up 1. We're fine. Alright, need to do 2 more. 337. 370. Alright, so now the random is right here, 0. And the next one's going to be used to determine the gill. So, yeah, that was a good random number. That one's almost close to the max possible. And, yeah. So that's it. So I've done this a few times now. Made quite a bit of gill. I should be set for a while. And I'll probably still... Let's see. Excuse me. I'll still have the cat ear hoods on for characters when they're away. They might as well have those on. But it's not as important now as it was before. I can go buy the canopic jar. I can make sure I stay stocked up now on ethers. And that makes it all the more, doable in this new game minus. So, yeah, I wouldn't have had to do this if they made that charge function of the character's magic power instead of their level. I don't know why they didn't do that, because your level can go from 0 to 99, your magic power can go from 0 to 99. It makes more sense to be magic power based, or even a fraction of your MP based, but they use the fraction to determine the likelihood of success, so that's fine. But the level part just really messes you up. The amount of things they use level on to determine effectiveness, once you find out the game mechanics, really messes things up. So, yep. But if you're trying to get through New Game Minus and you find yourself short on gil and you're this far in the game, come on back in, get yourself a random number application, and this could put you back, in the positive gil. So that's it. I will continue the main story my next time, and we're gonna go back to Mount Baromeses, and and then after that we will be doing more RNG stuff shortly after that when we get into Cerobi Step. So hopefully this was helpful to somebody, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.